why all of this healing work can actually be a trap for so many people for staying stuck and feeling blocked, and their life hasn't changed and they haven't changed. So and I'm not saying, so first of all, yes, all this healing work and therapy and overcoming the trauma, yes, very needed, very important, very necessary, absolutely. Okay, but if you have already done and tried so many things, you've read the books, you've been to the Reiki, you've done the energy healing, you've been to therapy, you've tried medications, you've tried meditation, visualization, affirmations, I've heard it all before. If you have already done all of that and you still have a mind that keeps ruminating, you still don't have inner peace, you still constantly worry about the future, you're still drowning in anxiety, you still can't sleep at night, your relationships still don't go the way you want, you're still afraid to start your business, you're still not as confident as you want to be in the boardroom, then we have a problem, because then that means your healing work hasn't worked. Okay, this is the biggest complaint I hear across the board. People typically come to me as a last resort because all the things they've done haven't worked. You don't say. Yes. Sometimes decades of therapy, right? Years and years of talking about the problem and venting and digging in the trauma and talking about the past. And again, yes, that's necessary and useful. But if you are not noticing changes within yourself where you're now actually truly feeling more courage, more confidence, better self-esteem, better self-worth, right? If you're not noticing the change inside of you so that you can do something different outside of you, then I promise and guarantee you all that healing work isn't working. It has literally just become a distraction. And so the question you get to ask yourself, what is it that I want? Do I just want to keep just getting distracted? Because and by the way, I've been there I was like so gullible to all, it's not even gullible. It's just like I put so much faith in these modalities and experts and professionals and PhDs and who knows what else, because I just automatically assumed it should work until it didn't. And I spent, whichever, years, okay, going back to the same thing and then trying all these other different things. And yes, there was some temporary relief-ish, but my self-esteem still sucked. Self-worth, what is that even? Self-confidence, how do you spell that? Like none of those things were there. And I had all these dreams about my future and what the things I want to do, but who do I think I am? Like all the self-doubt, the insecurities, all that crap was still there. So I just wanted to share this video to make sure that whatever you're doing, first of all, congratulations, give yourself credit that at least you are attempting, at least you're willing to do something about it, whether it's trauma from the past or you're not feeling your best self or whatever it might be. But if after a short while, not long while, short while, and this is why I tell my clients, one session, and if you don't see a shift after one session, we're done here. Literally, like you must. There has to be proof in the pudding. And the proof in the pudding, I'm not talking about during the session feeling the relief and you get to talk, and I'm not talking about that. That is nice. I'm talking about the proof in the pudding is after the session or whatever healing modalities, you go back out into real life and report back to me, hey, what's different? What's new? How is your emotional state? How is your physical state? How's your confidence? How was that conversation that, from last week, you tried to run away from it. Now you felt prepared for it. So I'm expecting your life, you to change that. Again, in the past, maybe you had anxiety in the boardroom. Hey, how is that today? And if you don't see changes in you and how you show up and how you walk into a room and how you communicate and how you think differently, how you feel, then this is not working. Okay? And by the way, most people, and this is another thing, nobody ever tells you, like none of my therapists told me this, none of my PhD, like nobody, none of my doctors. People think they're in control. Yeah, sounds reasonable, of their life, of themselves. No, actually, your subconscious is in control. And until you make conscious what's in your subconscious, it will continue to control your life. And then we call that self-sabotage and procrastination and addiction and anxiety and depression. Yeah, those are cute labels to just give to somebody. And instead say, wait a minute, do you realize that you're self-sabotaging because there is a program in your subconscious that is causing that may be teasing you, taunting you, trying to convince you that you're not good enough, or you're going to fail if you start this business, or things are going to go sideways, or you're going to embarrass yourself, or who knows what else. Yeah, if I have those thoughts, and if I believe those thoughts, and then of course there's many stories linked to that, yeah, I'm definitely not going to put myself out there, because that is what is going to cause me more fear, more doubt, more concern, more worrying. And so now we're repeating the same loop, right? And this is why I say, all this healing work, unless you see a verifiable evidence difference in you and how you handle life differently, then it's not working. Temporary relief is like putting out symptoms, putting out fires. That's not what I stand for. No way. Instead of focusing on the symptoms, which are up here, we got to get to the root cause. Until you make conscious what's in your subconscious, our life still goes sideways, and then we call it bad luck, and it's just my fate, and that's just how my genetics are. No. Okay? No. As your hypnotherapist, I'm here to tell you, once you understand, not only understanding isn't enough, awareness isn't enough. There's so many people will say to me, oh, I know exactly why I have this anxiety. I know why I have this depression. I know why I do the things I do. That's awareness. That's fantastic, and it's a really good start. But without intervention, that awareness is just gonna stay like a cute little dream and something, like a thought loop. No, now we gotta like do something with that awareness, right? And so often what nobody will tell you is that there is actually a subconscious program that is controlling your life, not just one, billions. An example of so first of all, a subconscious program is something that runs you on autopilot. For example, you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can't go back to sleep. Your mind is racing. You're now obsessively thinking about, oh my God, what if this and what if that? Catastrophizing the future. Oh, did I actually turn off the stove? No, did I? That is a subconscious program running on autopilot. It's not like you consciously want that. And then, of course, you blame yourself, and then you berate yourself, and then you force yourself to go back to sleep. Doesn't work. So, and keep in mind, the subconscious program is always 10 steps ahead. And afterward, we're like, oh, I should have got, no, too late. You need to fix the program. You got to change the program. The input is what's not working here. And by the way, you're not responsible for the input, because that input, that program was installed before the age of 7. For most people. And that's between the age of 0 to 7, a child is actually does not yet have a fully developed conscious mind yet, and therefore everything the child experiences just becomes automatically the truth. So anything, the way you watched your parents, how money was treated, how relationships were treated, what people told you, right? If somebody criticized you constantly and caused you, you have to be perfect, guess what? That became, oh, this is how I should be. And so many people don't realize that it's those programs that were installed before the age of 7. Those are the ones that control us as an adult. So many people have childhood programming running their adult life. And that's not a good idea. Because those programs are the ones that cause you to fear and to doubt and the insecurity, and I'm not good enough, and I'm not lovable enough, and I will never succeed, and I'm crap, and I'm a loser. Not healthy, not useful. That's why as a hypnotherapist, we don't just do talk therapy and talk about, we get to the root of the problem instead of focusing on the symptoms. The symptoms, to me, are an indicator. They're literally almost like they're begging for help. That's real healing work, understanding if a person has high anxiety or depression. The symptom is gold. This is amazing. The body is already screaming for help. And then just talking about it is just like, are you kidding me? No, we gotta understand, why is your body producing all these symptoms? Thanks, Christian. Nice to see you. Right? And again, it's not just about understanding. That's not enough. Now we gotta change that program and be like, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. You're not gonna tell me who do I think I am, because I know who I am, I am. And you begin to act as a confident person who has courage, who has a commitment to your future, who you have these dreams and goals and visions, you know what you want, but here comes the program prancing on your, no, that has to go. And so often, the other thing I see so many people, they live in shame and guilt and, hey, I'm investing so much money and time and I'm doing all this work, and often blame themselves that it's their fault. This is not your fault. If you're not working with a competent, okay, professional, it's not going to work. Doesn't matter how much money you pay. I don't care how many hours you spend. No. You need to see results after a short while. Because that's how you know your money and your time and your energy and your attention are well spent. Does that make sense? So please, I'm not here to judge what's right or wrong for you. I can only tell you what people say to me. I've been to decades of therapy. I've done Reiki. I've done the energy healing. I've done the gong therapy. I've done the sound healing. I've gone to salt caves. I've done the massages, the somatic blah, blah, blah. I've done the EMDR. I've done... It's like, okay. So, again, give yourself credit. If you are doing all this self-development work, that's amazing. I couldn't ask for more. That's like somebody who's dedicated to go to the gym every single day. Like, thank you. Like, oh my God, that's like the least you can do. But if you have a crappy trainer, or if you have been taught the wrong way and you keep hurting yourself in the gym, we have a problem. Your body would tell you. You should be feeling energized. You should be feeling flexible. You should be feeling vital. You should be feeling relaxed in your body, where things just move well. Well, same with your mind. The proof is always in the pudding. The proof is, how are your relationships going? How's your business going? How are your finances? How is your sleep? How is your health? How's your relationship with yourself? That's the proof in the pudding. And that, right, ultimately, you want to get to inner peace. Certainty from yourself, confidence, clarity. What is it that you even want? And now, a much better place. And I look back, I so cringe. The past me, so cringe. And it wasn't because I didn't want to get better. I did. But all the things that, even the books that I read, even the, yeah, it was cute. It sounded really good on paper. It sounded so sophisticated. Is it science proof? Yeah, it sounds great on paper. I want to, show me, do me, give me something that actually works, right? So education isn't enough. Knowledge isn't enough. Information isn't enough. Intervention, okay? Intervention, the right intervention. And even after a short while, you must begin to see a difference in your life and in yourself. Very simple example. If you are somebody who has fear of flying, okay, and we have one session and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I'm actually looking forward to that flight. Boom, problem solved. Do you see the before and the after? And sometimes I get it. It's not as black and white, but whatever it is, you must start to see a shift. And that's how you know you work with somebody who's competent and not just trying to distract you. There's plenty of distractions out there. We don't need to look far and wide. Plenty of those. But the question is this worthwhile my time, energy, and attention? Those are the resources, the most powerful, precious resources you will never get back. Once you spend it, you will never get it back. This way, I have learned, and I insist on being extremely calculated with my time. Where do I give it? Who do I spend it with? Do they deserve it? Is this right? Is this based on my North Star? We can always make more money. Money, yeah, is a good resource, but you can always make more. Once you spend energy, time, and attention, begin to really become so calculated and so obsessed about, is this the best use of my time? and you will begin to become a much more conscious creator. You will become a lot more discerning. You'll be a lot more skeptical. You will ask a lot more questions, and you will get answers. So what is your North Star? What's holding you back from that? And are you willing to do what it takes? And the rest is, really, again, ask yourself, the things that you're doing right now, are they helping you or are they hurting you? Or are they just distracting you, which is the same as hurting? Because now we just wasted all this. And again, I look back years, and at that point, I still felt like a very inferior, shy, weak person. And I was afraid to ask questions. I just assumed that maybe one day it's going to kick in, like this therapy. Maybe it didn't. So today, I don't care who it is, I don't care what profession, I ask questions. Purposeful, deliberate, profound, intimidating questions like, hey, what we're doing here, right? So anyhow, hopefully this helped you really remember, this is not being selfish. This is self-care. People are not mind readers. It's your job and your duty to ask yourself, is this the best use of my time, energy, attention? And there will always be proof in a pudding. Either it hasn't worked or it has worked. All right? Thank you. Any questions? You know where to find me? You want more? You know where to find me. Take care.